Welcome everybody to another lovely evening at the Solstice Showdown. Going to bring it to you at you here, Dub Nation. The people that like their animation subs, not subs, but rather dubs. You know, that's how it goes sometimes. Not everyone wants to listen to those Japanese soundtracks. And then we do on the other side have, of course, Solstice, who want to bring their own tournament home. They're in the lower bracket. It's really going to be the cider. Really, whoever wins is going to continue. Whoever loses going to unfortunately go home empty-handed. But I'm here today to bring you the action. Men of Class together with Ravishing Ravish. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing absolutely freaking tastic here, man, of class. And I gotta say, towards your earlier statement, how dare you, sir? What do you mean? What do you mean? Don't listen to the Japanese soundtracks and stuff. The only way to watch anime is subbed. If you watch things dubbed, what's wrong with you? What's going on,
Look,
man?
look,
And
they're
you need
calling
to
they're
talk.
called Dub Nation. I'm just suggesting something here that sometimes you can watch something dubbed. I'm from the Netherlands. We watch everything in subs. That's how we learn English. Rule number one: if you want to learn another language, don't watch movies with the dubs. Just watch it with subtitles. It's
I
better.
did not know
But
that.
yeah,
So fast.
both these teams are ready for Dub Nation, of course, trying to do something yesterday in the Friend Cup. So they've had some other tournaments going on. Solstice wasn't there, but they still have been able to watch some games and maybe get adjusted to the new patch a little bit, because we did get a new patch, didn't we, Ravish?
Oh yes, indeed we sir, and we did, indeed we did, and it's a fun one. I gotta say,
Okay.
it starts off a little bit calm, a little bit easy. Then they're like, oh, you know what? Dynamite's cooldown is up from 10-12 seconds. Not bad. Ash has been very strong in the meta currently as the auto sniper. Her damage is huge, and if you have accuracies, you have kills. Right? Dynamite has been a massive AoE tool to just pick down the enemies. So makes sense. And then you go down to Brigida's nerfs. Now get
Yes,
this here, meta class. So
that's the
repair
one,
pack.
right?
Yeah, this is I think where we can finally see RIP and see you later to Brigitte, because the repair pack no longer gives an additional armor health pool. Yikes. Okay, cool. Thanks for that. But and then a barrier shield yet again, increased from 200 to 50. Hey, things looking up, but regeneration decreased from 100 to 85 health per second, and
Yeah.
cooldown when increase is 3 to 5 seconds.
Yeah,
God,
so it's the shield. The shield has gotten some extra health, but then the regeneration's a bit lower. You don't get that armor stacking anymore from the natural health pack, and that's a big deal. No more Genjis running around with extra armor on them. No more Tracers running around with extra armor on them. But then again, also no tanks running around with extra armor on them, and they don't really have to worry about running into a Brigitte anymore because without those armor packs, Brigitte becomes a lot weaker all of a sudden. And yes, she can be dove a little bit harder because breaking the shield, etc., is a bit more difficult. But it will still be a problem to not have that armor on you as a Genji. But you've just been buffed, so maybe we'll still see Genji without the Brigitte. It's very possible. I'm very excited about the Diva buffs. I think those have been very impactful, at least yesterday, from what we saw. Um, because more defense matrix is always better. To be clear, though, it's not more defense matrix. I think that's little bit misleading. So the amount of defense matrix you have is the same, but you can just use it quicker after you've used it. So you click right click and it goes on cooldown, but then you can click it faster than you could before. That's kind of how that works. And she moves a bit
exactly.
faster when shooting. So a lot of good stuff. But talking about Dub Nation here, of course, we saw the roster perform before. The players you see on screen right now aren't the exact lineup they're playing with right now. It will be Aster, OU2 Lid, Dub Nation, and Caching. But I think Big Load, Ben, and Kunu are not playing right now, at least. So, yeah, we just saw some different names in the lobby. On the other side, though, when we look at Solstice, they are almost running with their full lineup. It's going to be Koshro. It's not in just yet. Will probably be here after the first map. Aspect, Joey, Vanguard, Lambent, and Silver Star. They're all here. They're all gonna be trying to pop off. And Silver Star is a great Brigitte, so maybe they'll still risk running it, but it's gonna be harder to pull off.
Most definitely too. But you know what? What's life without a little bit of risks here in Mana
Of
class? So
course.
if you do are about to get into the first map, it'll be Lijiang Tower. Here going
Yeah.
into it. You know what? It's last time I remember last time I actually did see Dub Nation, though they were on absolute rampage. And I do understand that they did finally drop a map out of 3-0 to, I believe, go ahead and remind me of who the
Was
Dr. Map
Nocturnal.
to. The
Yeah,
Doctor.
they
Okay,
dropped
yeah.
3 maps to Nocturnal, and that was quite a heavy loss.
Mm.
Unfortunately, we haven't obviously seen that. We haven't seen the game that was not broadcasted due to the time when it was played and other things going on. But yeah, you can see it here. They lost the 3-0. It was the upper bracket here. And then Nocturnal has to face Lunaris now. Regen up to purple. Those are the semi-finalists. And yeah, Dub Nation now dropped to the lower bracket where they have to face Solstice, which is what we're seeing today. I'm very excited for this actually because Dub Nation, last time we interviewed them, we sort of agreed with them that what they're mostly running, is something we could consider the young men's strength comp. So instead of the Fire, they were running the Junkrat, but it does seem like they're running out with this Echo this time around. Oyu Tulid on the Widowmaker, Aster on the Winston, Dub Nation Kaching on the Lucio Moira. So very mobile, very divey. Only that Widowmaker really being able to be caught if you're diving against it. But it's Double Barrier on the other side. They're straight away coming out of that one. Aspect and Lament on the Ash Tracer, Joey and Silverstar on that Baptiste and the Brigitte. And the point area is in control of the dive team, which is not something you see a lot. They usually want to use this open area, and they're already starting to clash. This is where it's going to go in. The dive from Aster, and immediately they try to follow up. They try to deny it. They do get Aster as a result because of the beautiful immortality field from Joey. The OU2 Lid does also get bopped by that Lambent Tracer, and with Trap Lock going down, I do think this first point control is likely going to go into favor of Solstice Esports, and not really a lot of stall coming out.
All the absolutely beautiful control by them. They already were on the point, but unfortunately, like you mentioned here, they did go ahead, like Solstice Esports did go ahead, go with the Brigida. Silver Star is an excellent one as that. You can see him really flexing his muscles. They did go ahead and get some early picks for themselves for the side of Solstice, and because of that, they're unfortunate to have to go ahead and give all the control. But Quicks, once again on the map.
Great minefields. The immortality field cannot come out in time. Joey falls to Silver Star as well. No more supports left here for the side of Solstice. They do get that counter kill on the aspect, or trap lock, but that's literally all they get. Ooh, maybe dubnation, but it's only Tracer left. Point will flip. 33% acquired, and now they have to try and attack for their own. But they have the ultimates, don't they?
Extremely fast take. Yeah, 100% they do. They do have the ultimate advantage. With almost 3 ultimates coming up for the side of Solstice still, but the take extremely fast. The Quicks with a beautiful minefield right onto the point, and then after that, it was complete just cleanup squad for the rest of his team outside of Dub. But Utility gets a pick off too onto Aspect. That'll be a huge amount of damage gone from the side of Solstice.
Yeah, huge amount of damage gone, but they do still feel like they have an advantage or ultimates to push in with. They're going to try, but both DPS aren't there yet. Meanwhile, we see the amplification raiders come out from Joey. They do get that 1 kill, but Lit actually gets their counterpart in the Tracer. Aspect going down as well, so supports versus DPS traded out. What would you rather have? Turns out supports are pretty good. They can actually heal quite a lot. Nicely done here for Solstice to recognize their advantage and still push in with that sustain.
Yeah, beautiful stuff. And Joey though getting the double for himself at the end, it's like absolutely amazing, right? Like, as you mentioned in your meta class, right? What would you rather have, the DPS with the support? You definitely want to support it because they can go ahead and heal themselves though. But the support on the side of Solstice have been an absolute tear. Silver Star on the Brigida, Joey on the Baptiste, being able to get so many picks for themselves. But dubnation is not really giving up just yet. And just as I see the Aspect gets one back.
Trap lock already out of the sky. Had that duplicate ready as well. One of their 2 or 3 ultimates they had online. Quicks will have another minefield soon, and that was very devastating last time. Maybe they can win a quick fight off that again. But they're going to choose to wait a little bit before Trap Lock to come back. They might initiate a little bit earlier. Oh, it's too late actually going around the side. Quicks does have their minefield ready. Is it going to come out now? It does look like they want to. And there it is with the slam. The Gravitic Flex and the Bob are also out. But they don't really get any kills. A lot of damage being done onto Skies here. Will get away with their life. And Vanguard is trying to stave off all the things that the attackers are trying to do. dubnation in a very good position to maybe get this. And they finally get Joey with the minefield again. Aster does go down as well, but that might not be enough to really stave off this attack. And oh, my feet is actually blocking out a little bit. I have to try and get this in. It will be Trap Lock doing a lot of damage together with Caching and dubnation. And eventually they should be able to cap over this point. They are doing so.
So as you mentioned, the dubnation too, the actual support player on the side of Dub actually got a boop onto the side of Brigida, which I think is great. Just in the middle of the fight, taking advantage of the chaos, getting the one the killers down, and on the back end, the Trap Lock was able to get, I believe, get 2 down for himself, get the ultimate off, right, and being able to get being able to just go on the back end. Oh, Utility picks off Aspect again. Man, that's got to
very early pick off. Yeah, very nice. I'm surprised that it's happened so often. You kind of got to be ready for that Widow, but she can get these interesting angles that you don't see a lot or that you don't experience a lot. They're still trying to get that Ashe into spawn. The immortality field's already out. Another beautiful minefield from Quicks though that kind of bars their progress into the side area, into the white room. But the dive is really stuck in there. Astra luckily has the primal rage to get themselves out, gets Joey as a result. They will fall, so no more tanks right now alive, but Quick's already back on the field. Vanguard gets another one into dubnation. You really need to start getting some kills here if you are dubnation. Otherwise, this fight will likely go to Solstice's favor. They do maybe flip the point, not just yet, but meantime, they do get the kills. Solstice looking very good to pick up this point, but Stall is going to come in from this dive, and that is what dive does best on this point. They keep on coming back from spawn. Gravitic Flux eventually launches, but no one really gets picked up by that. Quicks has to slow down, though, gets taken out as a result, and now we will just try and see them try to stall a bit more, but that will not come out in 100 to 99. First point to Solstice.
Absolutely beautiful stuff by them. And we did see, even though that we saw that a bunch of the members did get picked off. The Solstice were able to get onto the point first. Past that too, as you mentioned, your mana class, right? That consistent stalling. With the stalling, they were able to get the damage outputs, get the spikes, and finally push Dubnation off at this point. Really well played by them, especially I would find the overall alt management and range for them, right? They really will sparse out their ultimates, right, and use them to their advantages throughout the actual match to consistently gain back and to consistently gain back the control of the point. Beautiful stuff by both teams, though. But Dub Nation, sorry, but Solstice getting the first point here on Lijiang.
Yeah, no Symmetra strat actually this time on the night marker, which you see quite often. And this time around, they're both in that double barrier. There's going to be trap lock on that Junkrat. We've seen that before, could do a lot of damage with that Rad. OU2 lid on the Hanzo. Now we're getting into that young man strength territory where they're using that spam of the Junkrat. But Aspect gets that first kill, the Domination finds the Janyata, and the beautiful follow-up after the Dynamite gets OU2 lit as well. A nice start from Solstice, and they look like they're just going to clean this one up straight away. First fight heavily in their favor.
Yeah. Aspect just completely cleaning up on the back end though with a Dynamite, and on the other hand, though, Joey is able to pick up his counterpart, and this is exactly what we saw coming out of the first map to Solstice immediately able to get onto the point right away, get two pickoffs, and move towards the point, and past that though, and then move towards the end of the circle. Then it was simply just going onto the backline carries and picking them off one by one. It's from what it seems like the Solstice really knows what they're doing in terms of their game plan, and even though all these nerfs on the Vegeta and even a little bit onto the Ash, they're just not affecting them at all.
Oh, and now they're going to get the Amplification Matrix out as the demons as well. OU2 immediately gets blown up as a result. Oh, that is such a hard one to get into. That Amplification Matrix, of course, double damage. Not what you want to see. Aspect gets that headshot on the trap lock after a nice hold from Skies, and it's just Solstice all over again. They just keep being able to get these pickoffs early and then aggress on the other side of Dub Nation. Dub Nation a bit out of sorts, it seems. They're playing with a few subs, as we know today. At least Cashin seems to be a sub. But other than that, same lineup. So, yeah, I'm kind of struggling to see where their issues are currently.
Yeah, definitely. So it's like I would find that more often than not is that I definitely see Kishing being picked off by his counterpart almost consistently, right? I believe that's twice now we've seen that Joey go ahead and pick off Kishing onto the backside, and he wasn't really able to really put off that much healing too. Not Baptiste being the main healer, he needs to stay alive, and once the main healer is down, it's a matter of survivability here though.
Early pick on the Lambent from Traplock, and Mortality Field already down, but so it's a Supercharger. Great Gravitic Flux. The follow-up isn't quite there straight away, but it does put them out of a weird position. There's Gravitic Flux to the other side. Doesn't get any kills either, but Dub Nation will fall to the follow-up. It is going to be Aspect getting a double kill with the Bob, and then a triple kill. Aspect actually trying to push this one back. They do eventually manage to get Aspect and Skies, and that will be the point flip by the DPS. But what a long fight, and now with 99%, you have to hold for quite a while, and all you have is in Transcendence.
Yeah, definitely. So it's and just as you mentioned here, man, class, they have almost no altar going into this. All their ults are so far away because of that super extended fight. But on the other hand, Solstice is also coming in with the dongle too, and likely the matrix from Baptiste, but they're already onto the point.
Yeah, Superchargers out. The first two kills are down, but Traplock can spam this angle down for quite a while. The Amplification Matrix is devastating, though, and Aspect once again follows up with that beautifully. Dynamite and the shots. It's impossible to stay alive through all of that. Nothing to be done here for Dub Nation. They come in with that Doomfist on OU2 lid, but it just seems that it's not going to be enough. 99% it will take down. That's going to be the first map going to Solstice Esports. And they're bringing it. They're bringing their game all the way to Dub Nation, and Dub Nation is gonna have to find an answer here.
So it's they need to be able to make a difference, especially I find that a lot of the fights where Domination had the advantage was where OU2 was able to take out Aspect. Because more often than not, if Aspect stays alive, like he's able to just do so much work here on this Ash, being able to pick off the Baptiste, and also I believe which is also the early pick off onto the Tracer, also by the Junkrat too, right? So it's just like so just the DPS are because they're able to hide behind these double shields calm, and the healers on the side of Solstice are just not dying. Domination just can't go onto the back line, and because of their suffering on their own. And so I would like to be able to see, perhaps something that can counter this just super extremely like protect just a double shield, maybe going for maybe like a Winston next game. So maybe you can go ahead and make a difference, separate the team comp a little bit, and maybe just make some space for yourself.
Yeah, and there's a lot of options they have in that sense, but we do know that Dub Nation really likes to stick to this competition that they have. They did say they're working on some variations and some extra things. We of course saw that Echo come out from Traplock on the first point and OU to Lit on the Widowmaker, so it was a bit of a change, but you did see them default back to that Junkrat composition. And I would like to see them, go to a map that they're comfortable with. Of course, they get to pick the map now. It does seem like they're going to go to Rialto, which I'm not necessarily opposed to. I think Rialto could be a very good map for them. I think it certainly was last time around. But of course, their potential problem is that if this Junkrat, if they're going to play that again and it doesn't do its work on defense, then is it really warranted to keep running that Junkrat? Because it's very hard. We saw it run by Avoided as well yesterday, and they tried to get the value of the Junkrat on the defense. It worked for a little bit, but they couldn't get far enough in the attack to really keep warranting that. And I don't know. We'll see where we go with that.
And that's one huge point that you made there, Mana Class. Value, right?
Yeah,
What are the value of the comps, the picks, which Domination are doing right now, though? Is if they do want to consistently stick to what they are comfortable with, they need
yeah,
to be able to show that what they're doing is warranted, right? Because at the end of the day, if you go with your picks, it's not working out, and you still see you want to continue doing it. I believe that's the definition of insanity by Albert Einstein. Consistently doing
yeah.
the same thing, expecting a different result, which you don't want to see out of them. We know they're a fantastic team, so definitely. So it's let's go and see what kind of value we get here on Rialto.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that we're going to swap sides here. So Solstice is choosing to start on defense, which is something we see most of the time. Defense is a very popular side to hold on. And I really want to see what strategy Dub Nation is going to pull out on the attack, because I really like it when they play the Wrecking Ball and the Junkrat and the Orisa, because I do think that that combination of boops and halts and the mines is very conducive to the way they want to play. Like they want to put up a rhythm, they want to throw someone in the air, and then or they want to pull someone in the air. They want to have to follow up on that with either a sniper, like a hit scan, maybe an Ash. Then the Junkrat doing a lot. It's fairly cool. We're currently figuring out something in the lobby, by the way. It's something that happened in the back line. After 4 years, you can still not change the team names if you didn't make the original lobby. So that's something that happened here. But we're going into the game soon, and it will indeed be Dub Nation on the attack first. I don't think Solstice needs to change much. What about you?
I don't think they do need to change much at all though for now. But one thing I definitely do want to see is, considering it is Rialto, honestly, I want to see I definitely do want to see the oh my god, I'm completely blanking. The Lucio, yeah, the Lucio, like Lucio first point right by the Rialto, right by the bridge. I want to see more boops. I want to see boops with boop god here in meta class, and I'm gonna go ahead and keep a counter every time we go ahead and get a boop here on Rialto. I'm gonna yell into the mic, more boops with boop god, because this is the part that really makes me happy. Plus,
Yeah.
as we know, those early picks have definitely been able to have definitely been a snowball for both sides.
You know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna try to find my sound effect, because I have a sound effect for Lucio saying boop. And every time someone gets booped, I'll just play that. Even if it's a Hammond booping someone off the map, I'll just play it. That's way your counter is a bit easier. I hope I can actually find it, but it'll be great. Anyways, what do we see here on the defense coming out though?
We do see oh, this is gonna be a lot of fun. It's because we see domination consistently going, with a junker on tap lock, but on the defense, we're not seeing a Lucio or on the attack either. This is
It doesn't have to be Lucio. That's just the only sound effect I have. Sorry, not sorry. But yeah, there is the Wrecking Ball Junkrat combo and the Orisa as well, which I sort of wanted to see, and they are pulling it out straight away. You see that, just the mine straight away coming in, doing a lot of damage, booping them away. Quicks does get killed by Aspect here, goes a little bit too deep and doesn't actually managed to stay alive here. So we'll see another continuation of this. Just a bit of pokes, just a bit of this, a bit of that. Quicks is now back. A trap lock gets the kill on the Lambent. That's a nice one. That's exactly what you want to see. Get that opening pick. Don't worry about the flanks anymore. And now it's just Aspect in the backline. Gets blown up by trap lock. And now it's actually DPS behind the tanks here. Complete surrounding here by dubnation. Very well done. And meanwhile, OU2 Lit can actually look into the spawn, get the attackers as they come back. But unfortunately, Vanguard, like that OU2 Lit, they are cleaning it up slowly though. Finally, the last DPS goes down. Once again, going back Lambent here. Vanguard in the corner will just get destroyed. And that's the first checkpoint maybe almost gone because they don't have that much further to go. And the defenders aren't there yet.
Right before we got into the game here, man, class, the value coming out of the Junkrat, will they stick with the same comp or will they go ahead and change it up a little bit? And value is exactly what we got coming out of that. That was a beautiful flank, coming out of trap lock, be able to get 3-4 kills for himself, doing so much work. And now on the other end, as it just went, that was almost a seamless first point cap and another team kill here for the side of dubnation. They're doing work.
Yeah, they're definitely doing work here. And of course, you know, they managed to get that point. Lambent was touching first, but then Skies couldn't touch in time. So they got that first checkpoint a little bit for free. They didn't have to do that much to kill that. And then the fight just exploded. Nice Tire coming from behind, the minefield in as well. Tire's going to come from the top here. Will it get anybody? It doesn't look like it. Oh, he's going for it still. Gets the double kill. Both supports out of it. They were waiting for that immortality field. And then when an Aspect falls as well, Skies is down. Yes, you get quicks, but that's not going to be enough. And you might not even be able to hold up to the checkpoint here because that payload is getting close. And you don't have that many members left.
Misplayed by Joey there. I don't know why the immortality was not down. I know you definitely heard the Tire though.
It was down because of the mine. So the minefield came in. So they used the minefield first, and then they went in with the Tire.
Ah, yes. Thank you very much for educating us. I really appreciate that. But speaking of which, minefield's coming out. The dongle does come out though. But it is yet again the dubnation are just doing so well for themselves.
Yeah, Supercharger had the effect that they won with the amplification matrix. Skies is now using their bongo, and it was just a lot of damage that came out. Vanguard, Bob, you know, they all using their ultimates. I think that's the main problem that they're gonna have, though. They used everything.
So
I used aspect blades. Oh no.
Oh.
No
But
DPS.
Yeah, but still on the back end, both the DPS do get picked up for the side of Solstice, so that's unfortunate that they'll be delayed for a little bit longer. But yet again, but dubnation do always get pretty much cleaned out because